If you have considered adding AI to your agency to deploy to your clients, maybe for speed to lead, maybe for inbound calling, maybe for outbound calling, I want to make your day easy here today because I'm going to show you a tool that can do both AI chat and AI voice. Meaning with chat, it can be doing Instagram, Facebook, text messaging, all those different channels. It can also do voice, both inbound and outbound. So what I want to go ahead and do right now is I want to show you some of the pieces of the platform that can really simplify the deployment for agencies and enable you to focus on selling, focus on deploying quickly as well to your clients. So what are some of those pieces? Well, obviously we have a sub account level to this platform, and then we also have the agency level. So first of all, we'll dive into the sub account level. I'll show you some of those cool little features that can help you speed up the deployment. And then I'll show you kind of the bigger picture of the agency, how you can control the different sub accounts, different things of that nature, diving into the rebilling, things of that nature that can be beneficial to agency owners. And then I do have a list of frequently asked questions I want to go through that I have noticed on countless, what's the right word, on a ton of different sales calls with agency owners like yourself. I want to go through those questions to make sure that we get your questions answered. All right, so first of all, as you can see here, I am in my Go High level. We have the system Nexus AI I-framed into Go High level. Now, I just want to be clear up front with this here. We are running on assistable, so we are giving the same features, the same pieces as what assistable does. We do have some special benefits that come with going with us compared to with assistable, and I'll be pointing those out later on in the video. But for now, let's dive in here. So first of all, we do have obviously our inbox, the call center, and the contact. So this is basically the place where you can see the communications happen. Even on the Nexus AI side. So we have our inbox where you can see the conversations happening. You can easily take a look and see here what's going on. But also you can look at the logs. If there's ever an issue, something you need diagnosed, your team can come in here and see, oh, what's happening. So we're very, very transparent with all of the things that are going on. So it can be easily diagnosed, analyzed for your team to be able to have control over that. And then we have the call center, and this is where the calls are coming through into. Okay, so you have some of the graphs, some of the things showing, okay, what a percentage of the calls got an appointment booked, the conversations happened, how many of the calls were answered, different things of that nature. Some quick overview here. We have the call list here, and you can even quickly grab and download the recordings and things of that nature. But they can also be uploaded into Go High Level very easily for your client to have access to them right in there without even coming into this platform. And then from here, we do have the context, which this is in regards to the orbs. I don't know if you've seen them. Well, if you haven't seen it yet, check on this website down below. You'll see the little round orb. You click on that and it can speak to you. It can book appointments, things of that nature. Those come through here. Now we have the knowledge as well. So if you want to easily add information for your AI to know regarding the business, regarding pricing data, stock, or something like that, you can do it either through the knowledge base here, which I just want to point out that we have the voice function for this as well, which is quite unique because it is a very difficult deployment in regards to the latency. Because if you want to add a bunch of knowledge to an assistant, there's just a couple of things you have to make sure you do right, unless if you don't, you're going to get a lot of latency. And with this, we have seen very, very little latency added. At the same time, it adds a bunch of knowledge to the AI assistant to be aware of. Now, there's a couple other things I want to talk about when it comes to the knowledge and giving all the information that the AI needs to be smart, to have a smart AI replying that has the context of potentially even previous conversations, this different stock or pricing details, whatever you need. So a couple other pieces on that. One of them we'll be touching on when we go into the assistants. And the other one is that you can actually go ahead and very easily connect a Google Sheets account, a Google Doc, or something of that nature if you want to have a live data sheet. For example, many businesses, they store their pricing data on a Google Sheet. Well, now you can easily just integrate that into the AI, and now it has the information, the knowledge that it needs to be able to give that to the lead that's calling or texting or reaching out via Facebook, right? So all that is a very simple and very easy connection. Now, if you want to learn more about that, I do have a YouTube channel. I go into more detail on those specific features. But from here on, let's go on to our assistants. In the assistants tab here, we can very easily create new assistants from scratch, and we can do this very quickly, deploying it with minimal input. So what I'm trying to say here is that we go to create assistants here, we can quickly generate a new assistant. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the example right from here. And what you can see here is we have some basic questions, some basic details we add here. Typically, what I would want to add here is just who is this AI going to be? What's the name? What's the job? Who does it work for? And from there, how are we going to go about the conversation? Do we have qualifying questions? Do we need to book an appointment? What are we doing, right? So we give it some of those details, and we hit generate assistant. And so once we hit generate assistant, it's going to take about 30 seconds to create a very, very well-built assistant for us. From there, we only need to connect some tools. And obviously, if we want to customize it, we can then customize the conversation even further. But typically, it's quite a long ways along the way. All right, now from here, this should be wrapping up here very, very shortly. Let's just give it a second. There we go. And so as you can see here now, I'm just going to go into this right here. We have the identity of this AI, and we also have the personality traits. We have the style guardrails, the response guidelines, all that very quickly and easily available to us here. Now, where the conversation is mainly going to happen is going to be in the tasks, right? This is what's going to determine the flow of the conversation. So we're going to greet the user, we're going to ask them certain questions, and like that, as you can see here, you can take a bit of time looking through this if you want to. But essentially, this comes up with a very solid conversation. And depending on the details you add when generating this, for example, adding a script, if you have an existing script, that's going to be so easy to just generate the proper assistant that you need. Now, from here, if you ever wonder, okay, well, what can we do as far as conversational history, like for it to be aware of past conversations or of certain information that maybe your AI needs to be aware of specific to that context? Well, we can very easily add those pieces. Just take a look here. In the fields and values right here, we basically get every custom field, every custom value, we get that in here, and we can easily add that to our assistant. So for example, phone manufacturer, we quickly hit add, and now we can grab this variable right here. We can put it anywhere in the prompt that we want to. And now, obviously, I'm not putting the right spots here, and this is about solar here, and yet I have a custom value for a phone manufacturer. So obviously, we have that be different questions. But as you can see, now this would fill with the model of the manufacturer and the model, whatever we have in the context. So how can this be used? I just want to point out how this can be used. You can use this in a couple different ways. If you want to add conversation history, you can use this to fill that value with the history and add that in here so that the AI now has context on the inbound calls, on the chat conversations, meaning text message, DMs, all those different ones. And it has that context so that in the future conversations, it understands what has happened in the past. Now, the other thing that this is very beneficial for is that you can go ahead and say you're running Facebook campaigns, then you can have any details that maybe were asked on the questionnaire in the lead form. You can have those filled over here. So let's just say that you're a car sales person, right? And you had leads coming in for a specific model of car. It was shown on the lead form, right? So on that lead form, that custom value can be then filled into the CRM, from which we can then pull it into our conversation and very easily speak directly to that client about what they were interested in. So now we're not just being like, oh yeah, no, we're doing this, we're doing that. Now you're very specifically talking to what they were interested in. So that's a part of the power of this. And this is just a piece of it. Now, if you want to quickly deploy, obviously there's different features here. We quickly add the fields and the values, add snippets, specific information gathering and protocols and stuff like that. It's just like almost little templates that you can just quickly add into the prompt. It's very, very fast, very, very cool to be able to use them like this. Now, all that we need to actually deploy this and start making calls, making those conversations happen via chat or live chat, whatever we want to do, is we need to add an active tag and a phone number. To do that, it is as simple as clicking on here, scrolling down to where we have that assistant. We just quickly go ahead and update the name over here. Maybe we'll say sales to, and we're going to go ahead over here, just say sales to active. Whatever you want to do, you just add that in here. Now this is going to populate with a tag in Go High Level, so you can easily add that. And if that tag is added to any contact, the AI will start responding to that. Okay, we won't do the testing on here. You can just go take a look at other videos that I have on my YouTube channel about that. Now, if you want to deploy this assistant to phone, be able to receive phone calls, to answer phone calls, and also to make outbound calls, we just simply add a phone number here. Now, I want to point out that we can import phone numbers, we can purchase phone numbers, we can import from Twilio, Telnex, and other platforms like that, and we can also purchase directly here on the platform. Now, the minute pricing is at 7 cents per minute, regardless if you import your own number or if you purchase the number. So essentially, if you purchase a number on the platform here, the Twilio minutes that are from this specific number are included. Now, if you import, obviously, that would be something you would deal with outside of there as well. But all that being said, now you can have any international number. You can have any number that you can find on Twilio, on Telex, whatever you want. All right, so from there, we simply just connect that right there. We go over here, select the AI assistant, save those changes, and now we have it connected. So call that number, and your AI will the AI will answer. So it's that quick. And as you see here, I've been having a long commentary here while connecting this. We could have done this in about 3 minutes up to this point had I not had all my commentary going. Now, if you are a high volume outbound caller, then we also have the pools. We can set up a number of pools so we can fill round robin through numbers, essentially, where we have the different numbers, and it just uses all those numbers and gives them each a turn in the outbound calling, so that you reduce the likelihood of getting those numbers spam to show up as spam likely. All right, so from there, we do have some more details here on the assistant, and I'm just going to kind of scan over this a bit. But we have the ability to choose any voice that we want, any voice from 11 labs. We can go ahead and connect a calendar very, very simply. They already show up as soon as you connect your AI, but now we can just sync it, just make sure that that's all solid, and just click on the calendar that we want. It's going to run through the connection here. I'm not going to do that right now, but it's just a very automated connection here. From there, we can set up some more details as to how we want the AI to respond. Like, what do we want to wait time to appear more human, or do we want to just be quick and quick to the punch there as far as live chats to just respond very quickly? What do we want to do? We can do that here. And if you weren't aware yet, this is actually for both chat and voice that this prompt is dealing with. So we don't have to go set up another assistant to do voice. We can do that chat and voice from this one assistant. Now, tools and abilities here. So if we want to book on a calendar, this has become so simple. We connected the calendar here. Now all we need to do is go ahead and select the tools. We go over to our tools here, our platform tools, and we just click on update user details, and we add our calendar management tools to be able to not just collect information and save the contact information, but also to book the appointment, cancel the appointment, and even reschedule appointment. What do you think about that? That's pretty powerful. Having a system like this, how beneficial would that be to quickly deploy to your own business, to your agency's business, to your client's business, right? There's so much power. Now, one thing I hadn't touched on yet is that you can be so simple, so basic with these assistants. It's so quick to deploy. However, the power is here to deploy enterprise level. What do I mean by that? Well, we can very easily now go and use a custom tool here, and we can run it to a Google Sheet. We can run it to any website, any place where we have the API access. Okay, we can get information from there, and we can use that information. There's so much power in this. Now, that might only make sense to some of those people who are a little bit more aware of APIs, but there's so much you can do. Now, if you want to kind of connect my Make or my N8N, any tool of that nature, yes, you can. That is exactly through the custom tools right there. That's how you can connect it very, very easily. All right, so obviously I am just I'm going on and on and on and on here, but we have the call settings. So in the call settings, we can go ahead, obviously change our settings here. We can get a post call webhook, meaning that we can get the information from that call very easily into our CRM and use that information as we choose. Now, the knowledge base, we talked about a bit already, the calendars, output filter, and we have team notes. And then we have the automated data collection, which pulls all the information from the transcript from the voice calls, and we can analyze it even from the chat, and we can analyze it and quickly and easily fill any custom fields, any custom fields in your Go High Level account with that information. So now you don't have to do it during the call, so it doesn't cause as much latency. So you can go ahead, just do it after the call. It puts it right in there, and you're solid to go. And the AI is so much smarter for the next turn, right? All right, so now let's move over to one more thing here, the models. So we have different models you can choose from. So you can always stay up to date on that. All right, so from there we have the widgets, and we have the voice widget, which is this one, obviously. You can customize that to make it look as you wish. And now let's go over to the agency settings. I think we've already spent enough time over here. Let's quickly dive into agency settings. And I'm just going to go right over here. So we have our agency details showing up right here. This is a test account right here. I have 2 accounts currently connected. If you have a new, if you're connecting the first time here, you're going to have a couple quick, easy buttons to integrate for Go High Level, to integrate your Stripe and different things of that nature. Just run over to integrations right here. You can connect that right there. And then our sub accounts, we can manage our sub accounts from here. So we have a rebilling functionality where we can go ahead and simply click on here, and now I would need to, I guess, enable the details here for the rebilling, and I should just double check manage access lock invite. Yeah, so I will just need to enable rebilling and get that connected. Once that's connected, then we can go ahead and do the rebilling. So what that means is that you are charged 7 cents per minute for the voice call. From there, whatever you upcharge for those minutes, you get to keep the profit, right? So 7 cents, if you're selling for 25 cents per minute, well, you would receive, what would it be? 7.25 would be about 18 cents. Am I doing my math right? So that would be put into your Stripe account after. Now, we can also go over here. We can just manage these accounts by adding and giving access to the people that need the access. We can manage the permissions. We can manage the limits. So we can, say how many assistants, how many messages, and all of that they should have. And now also the status here, is it connected? Is it not connected? Is the rebilling enabled? Is it not enabled? All those different pieces are very easily visible from your agency level dashboard. All right, so my voice is getting tired because I'm talking so much here, but let's quickly dive into the branding. I just want to point out, yes, we can do white labeling. So you can go ahead and put your own logo in here. You can put your own domain in right here. And you can even add documentation if you want to right here, so that shows up for your clients. Then we have in our agency settings, this is a feature that's going to save you even more time, because now you can go ahead and easily set up when you create a new account, what different tabs on the client side on the sub account are going to show up. Are all the different ones going to show? Is inbox, contacts, assistants, are they all going to show? Well, in some cases, business owners, agency owners, excuse me, they don't want, excuse me again, they don't want all their clients to have access to the assistants, to the numbers and everything, right? Because, well, they might just mess it up. So you can adjust it here and give the access that you want or you don't want them to have. For example, if I just wanted them to have access to inbox and call center, then that's all I would need to do. Now, if they're all grayed out, that means that they're all going to be active. Now, if we go ahead, we can also, obviously turn off the amount of assistants, messages, calling, all those different details here. And then we can also add an ID for our preferred snapshot for an assistant. So this means that you can easily copy and paste an existing snapshot. Let's just say you're a realtor and you have an assistant you really, really like. You copy that idea, pop it in here, and now every time you create a new assistant, it's going a new account, it's going to automatically add that assistant in there. So you just come in and use that for very, very quick deployment. All right, so I think I've been mentioning enough of these things here for now. I think you get an idea of what we're looking at here. It's a very, very powerful platform. it's also very, very simple to deploy. That's honestly one of the best things about this. It's so simple to deploy, yet you have the power for enterprise deployments if you want to. And I didn't even show you the flow builder, which is another thing that's up and coming here. So now let's go over and just take a look at a couple details here. So a couple questions that I've just got over multiple, like I've done so many sales calls with Nexus AI and so many support like tech calls, because one of the things that we do for our Nexus AI users is that we have calls twice a week, and so we get a lot of questions, and so there's a lot of questions. I just want to make sure I cover some of those main ones here. So call capabilities, yes, we can do outbound calls. We can also set appointments on Go High Level calendars very, very easily, and we're actually even working on getting integrations so it's easy to deploy to other tools, not just Go High Level. And from there, integrations and setup. Yes, Go High Level integration, very simple, very easily done. Voice Orb, yes, we have that as well. The setup bundle. So there is some details that we are adding as Nexus AI. So this is one of the benefits of going with Nexus AI, and that is that we will go ahead and help you with a setup, with onboarding, obviously. And if there's specific workflows and things that you want, we have a couple we call them mini snapshots. You can deploy them. They're ready for easy deployment in your system. So obviously you don't need a lot of workflows for this to work, but if you want to do follow-up, things of that nature, can still be beneficial to have those. So we do have them available for you. If we don't have a workflow that you need, as long as it's not too big of a build-out thing that you would need, and we see the value to other clients, then we will go ahead and help you build that out. And then we have the phone numbers. So how do they work? Well, I think I kind of covered that actually. And the data connections, we can pull from Google Sheets. We can connect all sorts of different data connections. I did cover that as well. And then we have the pricing policies here. So how do we compare in the pricing? Well, our pricing is lower than what Assistable is, and we can do this yet provide good service and good support. So we're able to provide a bit of a better pricing there, especially for the top tier. We're under $700. You can just check the pricing page there, whereas Assistable is closer to $1,000. So and that gives you unlimited access to assistance. And then we have the inbound outbound calling. That is the same for inbound and outbound calling. The pricing, the voice minutes are the same across the board, and they're at 7 cents per minute. Branding, we did cover that. You can do custom branding, white label it. Support and onboarding, yes, we do have an initial onboarding call, at least one, sometimes even a couple more if necessary. We want to make sure that you are understanding of the platform, that you have something ready to deploy and are able to go get that ready. We want to be there with you to make that happen. And then we have the knowledge and resources, where we have training every I think I'm actually mentioning this later on here. So let me okay, maybe it's in here. So yeah, the knowledge and resources. So we do have a training knowledge base to help you along, to make sure that you have all your questions answered. If we, for some reason, don't have all those details there, we do have twice weekly calls in which you can jump in, ask any question, jump off as soon as you want to. It's basically a tech call, a support call to make sure that you keep going and aren't stalled in your deployment for any reason. And then we have the ongoing support. This will be the continuous assistance from our team to yours. We do this through a humble channel, which is like Slack, but we have a one-on-one channel with each of our Nexus AI clients so that you go ahead and are able to move forward with ease, making sure you can deploy rather than being stuck on tech setup. So I hope this has been beneficial. I hope this is a good overview of what Nexus AI is. And altogether, I just feel free to jump in. And I didn't even mention, hey, one thing here. We do have a 30-day money back guarantee in case for some reason it's not working out for you after 30 days. We can go ahead and refund up to 30 days at the 30-day mark. Okay, so that is it for this video. I do hope it's been beneficial. Let me know if you have any other questions. Feel free to book a call if necessary as well. Thank you.